Imagine you have a new idea for an online product. You don't want to spend months building it. You want to start small, test fast, and see if people will pay. You've heard about indie hacking and micro SaaS. They sound simple and quick. They promise you can build a tiny software product in no time and launch it. Maybe it's like what dropshipping did for e-commerce. No need to manage warehouses or product goods. Just pick a product and start selling. Indie hacking does a similar thing. It keeps the slow parts of building a full-scale SaaS and just gets something out there fast. But there's a catch. Just like dropshipping made it easy to start selling but hurt many brands' reputation when products arrived late or broken, micro SaaS can do the same. If you launch too fast, with poor code, no security and no real plan, you risk hurting your brand. Today we'll break this down. What are indie hacking, micro SaaS and SaaS? How do they compare to dropshipping and traditional e-commerce? What are the risks of shipping too fast and what's a better way to do it? Okay, let's start with some simple definitions. A SaaS product is an online tool or application that users pay for, usually with a monthly fee. Think of services like Slack or Notion. They are stable, secure, and built to last. They usually start as small products, but they are tested, improved, and made robust over time. They handle user data carefully, maintain security, and have some level of customer support. They care about long-term reputation because they want to keep users paying month after month. A micro SaaS is a tiny version of SaaS. It's often built by one or two people. They launch a small tool that does one thing well, like generating simple reports or managing a small workflow. It's quick to build, maybe a weekend or a few weeks of coding. They skip big infrastructure and deep testing. The goal is to see if anyone will pay for it. If yes, great, maybe they improve it. If no, they shut it down and try another idea. Indie hacking is a mindset. It means building small online products, often alone, with very little funding. Indie hackers try many ideas. They ship products fast and cheap. They don't wait for perfection. They just want to see what sticks. If a product fails, they move on fast. It's like throwing many darts at a board, hoping one hits a bullseye. E-commerce is selling a physical product online. Traditional e-commerce might mean you buy inventory, store it, package it, and ship it yourself. You control the product you sell, you know the quality, and you can manage shipping times. This is slower to start and requires more investments, but you have more control. Dropshipping is a shortcut in e-commerce. You don't hold any inventory. Instead, you lease products from a supplier you never meet. When someone buys from you, the supplier ships the product directly to the customer. It sounds easy and fast, no warehouses, no big upfront cost, but you lose control over the product quality, shipping speed, and returns. If your supplier is slow or sells junk, your customers will blame you. It's quick to start but risky for your brand. Now let's link these ideas. SaaS is like traditional e-commerce. You build something solid. You take time to make sure it's good. Micro SaaS and indie hacking are like dropshipping. Fast and easy to launch, but with less control and more risk. In e-commerce, if dropshipping goes wrong, your customers receive bad products, slow shipping, and they hate your store. In software, if micro SaaS goes wrong, your users get bugs, downtime, security issues, and they lose trust in you. So why do people love the idea of micro SaaS and indie hacking? Because it reduces risk at the start. You don't spend months or years building a huge product that might fail. You build something small and get it out there. If it flops, you wasted maybe a few weeks, not a year. If it succeeds, you can improve it and grow it into a stable business. The idea here is quick validation. Don't waste time on something nobody wants. The same logic attracted people to dropshipping. Why spend money on stock and rent a warehouse if nobody buys your product? With dropshipping, you can test product fast. If nobody buys, just switch products and try again. Simple, right? But dropshipping has a bad reputation. Why? Because most dropshippers have zero control over their product quality and shipping times. Customers order a product and have to wait weeks, sometimes months. The product might arrive broken. The store owner can't fix it easily because they never control the supply chain. Customers leave bad reviews and never return. The dropshippers tries a new product but now has a bad brand image. In the end, many dropshippers stores closed down. They made few sales but never built a real trustworthy brand. Customers just remember poor experiences. Sure, it was easy to start, but you pay the price later. Micro SaaS can have the same kind of issues. When you build software too fast, you skip important steps. Security. Maybe you forget to secure users' data. Hackers can break in or users can see each other's data. That destroys your trust. Stability. If the code is rushed, it might break under small pressure. A few users sign up and the app crashes. Nobody likes a tool that will fail when you need it. Quality. The user interface might be ugly or confusing. You might have bugs that annoy users. When users pay for a tool and it's buggy, they often never come back. Trust issues. If you leak data or provide a bad experience, people talk. They want others not to trust you. Just like dropshipping can hurt your store's brand, a rushed micro SaaS can hurt your personal or company brand. Next time you launch something, people might remember you as the person who made that terrible product last time. Imagine a developer named Lisa. Lisa wants to build a small tool to help people manage their personal finance tasks. She codes it over a weekend and launches it right away. She doesn't test much. She just wants to see if anyone signs up. To her surprise, 100 people sign up the first week. But then, big problems appear. Some users see other people's financial data by accident because the code is sloppy. Others can't log in. The payment system is buggy, so some users get the full app for free while others get charged twice. Users complain on social media. This tool is unsafe. Don't trust it. Lisa tries to fix it, but the damage is done. Her brand is now linked to that insecure finance app. Even if she builds something better later, people remember the first mess. Now think about John, who tries dropshipping. He finds cheap headphones from a random supplier. He never tests them. He just puts them on his store and runs ads. Orders come in. Great start, right? But then, customers receive the headphones after 5 weeks. Some are broken, some never arrive. People ask for refunds. They leave bad review. This store is a scam. John can't fix it easily because he doesn't control shipping. He tries to apologize and give refunds, but most customers don't care. They won't trust him again. His store's name is now linked to the slow shipping and poor quality. When you rush, you might think you can just move on if it fails, but building a good reputation matters. Whether you're selling software or physical product, trust is hard to earn and easy to lose. Word travels fast online. If your micro SaaS leak data, people will share that on Reddit, Twitter, and forums. If your dropshipping store sells junk, negative reviews pile up. Over time, you want people to trust you. You want them to say, hey, this person or company make good stuff. If they remember that you once shipped a terrible product, they might hesitate to try your next thing. Sure, you can sometimes rebrand or change direction, but that takes effort. It's better to avoid that mess in the first place. So what's the solution? Should you never launch fast? Not exactly. Launching fast has benefits. You don't want to spend forever perfecting something nobody wants, but you also don't want to ignore basics like security, quality, and user experience. Think of your micro SaaS not as a throwaway product, but as a minimum viable product. MVP means you build the smallest version of your product, but that still delivers a real value and meets a minimum standard of quality and security. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it can't be sloppy. For example, if you're building a micro SaaS that helps people track their daily habits, you don't need 20 features. Just pick one core feature. Maybe users can log a habit and see a basic chart of their progress, but make sure the login system is secure and tested. Make sure data is stored safely. Make sure the feature works without crashing. The product is small but not broken. Instead of 1 weekend, give yourself a month. That's still fast compared to a giant software project that takes years. In that month, do basic testing. Ask few friends to try it and see if anything breaks. Check your code for obvious mistakes. Make sure you have at least some form of encryption. Add basic input validation so users can't break your forms. Just do the simple things right. This extra time helps you launch a product that won't embarrass you on day one. If people sign up and it's stable, they might trust you. They might tell others. You can then improve it, add features and scale up. You still move faster than big companies, but you don't skip critical steps. There's a trend in the indie hackers community that says build and launch in a week. While it's tempting, remember that a week is very short. Unless you're building something extremely simple, a week might not be enough time to ensure security, stable code and half-decent design. If you skip these steps, you might save time at the start, but you pay later. Fixing a broken reputation is harder than spending an extra couple of weeks coding properly. Another piece of advice, learn good coding practices first. If you are a beginner developer who doesn't know how to secure data or write clean code, don't jump straight into launching. Learn the basics. Practice building small projects with proper code structure. Understand how to protect user data. Learn about basic security measures. Once you can build good quality products, you can try to do it faster. Speed without skill is dangerous. It's like driving a car at top speed when you barely know how to drive. You might reach your destination fast or you might crash. Learn to drive well first, then push the speed. If you build a reputation for quality, even at small scale, people remember that. They trust you. When you say, hey, I made a new micro SaaS tool, they think, oh cool, last time it worked well, I tried this one. Over time, this trust can turn into a loyal user base. If you become known for a sloppy, insecure product, people avoid you. They don't care how fast you launch if everything you launch is broken. Now picture Tom, a developer who wants to test a micro SaaS ID. He's building a tiny social media scheduling tool. He could rush it in a weekend. Instead, he spends a month. In that month, he keeps it simple. Users can connect their social media account, schedule one post per day and see a small preview. He tests the login with a few friends. He makes sure nobody can access another user's account. He checks that the code won't break if 50 people sign up at once. After a month, Tom launches. Maybe he only gets 50 signs up in the first weekend, but guess what? Nobody sees bugs or security flaws. The users trust it. They might share it with a friend. Next month, he gets 200 signs up. He can then add new feature or improve the design. Because he started with a stable base, he can grow without fighting fires all day. The main lesson is don't treat micro SaaS like a disposable product. Treat it as a serious test of an ID. If you prove the ID works and the product is stable, you can invest more and grow it into a full SaaS product. This is much like how a careful e-commerce store starts small, tests a product they actually know is good, and then grows into a trusted brand. If you only focus on speed and ignore quality, you risk wasting your time. Sure, you launched fast, but if everyone hates your product, what did you gain? If you have to rebuild everything later, you lose more time. Okay, some practical tips now. Security basis. Even if a micro SaaS store passwords safely, use proper authentication library. Don't reinvent the wheel. Data validation. Check user input. Make sure your forms don't break if someone enters unexpected data. Testing. Do at least a bit of testing. Use a few beta testers. Fix the worst bugs before going to public. Minimal but polished UI. You don't need a fancy design, just make sure the interface is not confusing. Honest marketing. Don't promise more than you have. If your micro SaaS does one thing, say it does one thing well. Traditional SaaS might take longer, but it's usually more robust from the start. Micro SaaS is faster to launch, but often less stable. The goal is to find a middle ground, fast but not reckless. Traditional e-commerce takes time and money to set up, but you control quality and shipping. Dropshipping is quick and cheap, but can hurt your brand if your supplier fails you. In the end, indie hacking and micro SaaS can be great. They let you test IDs fast and with less money. But you don't treat them like the end goal. Treat them as a testing method. Avoid the dropshipping trap. Don't rush so much that you ignore quality and trust. A bit more care at the start can save you from huge headaches later. Build something small but solid. If it works, improve it. If it fails, you can move on without a damaged reputation. Over time, you get better at building quality products faster. That's the real skill. Delivering something good in less time, not just pushing junk out quickly. Remember, fast isn't always good if it leads to poor quality and lose trust. Take a little more time. Your users, your reputation, and your future self will thank you.